This is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. This is Tristan. He's a Corgi. He's sliding down my lap again, and this is an episode of Conversations with a Corgi. And today we are here to talk a little bit more about this idea of dominance in dog training. And it's so problematic, and yes, it is fading, but not everywhere across the country. So today I wanted to really focus on the idea of cooperation and relationship that we have with our dogs in training and just our being with them. I mean, why do we have them if we don't want cooperation, respect, and a relationship built on mutual trust and understanding? And I'm reminded of a study I talked about on Conversations with a Corgi a long time ago that came out, and it was about altruism in dogs. And one of the things they were able to demonstrate is that a dog would push a lever to give a bone to a friend, a dog he knew, even if he wasn't getting one himself. Now, how many humans do we know that would do that every time? You know, a lot of people are kind of selfish, and they're like, I'm not giving you a treat if I don't get one. But if it's somebody you know, yeah, sure, you might do it. And dogs showed the same ability to say, well, I can't have one, but my friend can, so I will pull the string or push the button and get one for him. And that study was really groundbreaking because people didn't think animals could do things like that. And certainly anyone who's had more than one animal has seen this. You know, I've more than once given my dogs a treat that one of them really likes and the other one doesn't like so much, and the one that doesn't like it just willingly walks off and allows the one that loves it to have two. And I've seen this in other dogs as well. So this is really getting to the core of their being and why they are here with us. They want to cooperate with us. When you do training with them, one of the things that I love about dancing with your dog is that it is fully a cooperative endeavor. You know, it's different than obedience where the dog just does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you say, good dog, yes, give him a treat, give him a click. Dancing, it requires an involvement, and it's a relationship between you that is highlighted with you moving with the dog and, you know, giving him signals and putting those together and putting together a whole routine that is a cooperative effort between you and the dog. Just like when I did freestyle riding with my horses, it's a cooperative effort. The horse can't do it without me, and I can't do it without the horse. The same in dog dancing. It's just boring. It's either of us alone. And so that idea translates to, you know, 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2. It equals, you know, 2 individuals coming together and then one thing that is so much stronger than either of them alone. And we see that with dog dancing and with cooperative ways of training dogs. We've gone from negative reinforcement training to positive reinforcement training. But there is a third step that we are just on the beginning of this idea of cooperative dog training, which is a term I just made up off the top of my head right now. Hopefully I can trademark it and be rich. No, but you know, this idea of cooperating with your dog, you know, and if you have any kind of good puppy training skills, you know that you reward the dog and thank him and praise him when he's doing what you want. And when he's doing what you don't want, you cooperate with him to do what you do want. So for instance, if he's chewing on the rug, you pull the rug away and give him the toy you want him to chew on. So the dog is doing what he wants to do, but he's doing it with the thing that you think is okay. That's cooperative training. You know, positive reinforcement is pulling him away from the rug and giving him a treat and saying, good for not eating the rug right now. Negative reinforcement, smacking him on the nose and saying, don't eat the rug. And of course, dogs don't really get that idea of don't, because we don't have a picture in our head when we say no, don't, stop. Come, you know, we want to give them a picture. I want you to chew on your squeaky. I don't want you to chew on the rug. So when you say chew on your squeaky, you have he likes his squeakies. You have a positive picture in your mind of what you want the dog to do. And that is the difference. That's what cooperative training is about. You know, when your dog, like Tristan, he taught himself his own trick. I've taught him to put his front paws on a box and walk around with his back legs, but he doesn't really like to do that. Being a Corgi, it's kind of hard to load up the back end and then walk in a cute circle. But what he likes to do is get all 4 feet on his little box and then sit up, which is an even better trick. I think he's way cute doing it. And so that's an example of cooperative training. He invented what he wants to do, and I said, okay, let's do that. Let's do more of that. That's a good thing. And I think this is the difference with people who are really successful with horse training, for instance, is being able to help the horse understand what you want. And when they offer it, at any point, even when you're not asking for it, tell them, yes, this is a good thing. I want more of this. And then they will understand. Really, training is about understanding the language, the dog understanding your language, you understanding his language, and that is inherently a cooperative effort. If you've ever tried to talk to somebody who speaks a foreign language that you don't speak, which I've had a lot of experience doing when I was traveling, and I have to say, sometimes it can be funny, which is one of the good things. Like, it's a bright thing, not a sad thing. But you are able to find ways to understand that person with their gestures and their facial expressions and their pointing and, their movement in their body, their posture. And that's how we communicate with our dogs. It's like we're talking to some person in a foreign language. And we have to learn to speak dog, and dogs are always learning how to speak not just human, but their own idiosyncratic human's way of talking, because we all have our accents and our favorite words that we use and our idioms and, how we communicate. And so really training your dog or your horse or your bunny for that matter, because I've trained plenty of bunnies and cats. I have more and more cat clients telling me now that their cats do a whole variety of basic things that dogs do. Sit, stay, down, give me paw, sit up, spin for a treat. And my niece Gwen has been doing this with her cats since they were babies, and her cats are really well, quote unquote, trained. But really, it's teaching them behaviors that they all do anyway, rewarding that, and then saying, yeah, let's do this. And Gwen gets excited when they do things. Like she actually does like a little spin herself when she wants her cat to do a spin initially. And that's another example of cooperative behavior, cooperative training. It's, working with your animal to come to a mutual understanding of the language that is between you. So next time you're trying to get your dog to do something, take a step back and think of it as trying to communicate with somebody that speaks a language that is not your language. And one of you may be better at interpreting the other than the other one is, but really look at the relationship between you and try to understand what your dog is saying. Like Tristan's been having trouble backing up. Backing up is hard for him, and it doesn't come naturally to him. I mean, a lot of people, every dog I've had, I think, if I hold the bowl when I'm giving them dinner and move it towards them, they just back up because they want to keep their eye on the bowl. Tristan sits, and if I keep the bowl moving past him, he'll roll right over. It just isn't in his thought processes to easily back up. And so that's been hard for him to learn, and it's not natural for him. But, through understanding what he can and can't do and telling him that even 2 steps is fabulous, he is learning gradually how to back up for me. And part of that is building up the hammies under the fuzz buns, because so much of dogs' general activities increase the quad muscles, but not so much the hammies. And backing up is really targeting those hammies. And if any of you have had to lay on your stomach and do leg lifts with your knee bent, you can see what hammy targeting feels like. It's strongly hard, and we often don't use our hammies. Walking on a treadmill actually is beneficial because it makes you use your hammies for you and your dog, and you get better alignment around your knee. But for Tristan, trying to teach him how to do this, I've had to really listen to him and see, okay, that's really hard. No, we can't do it on the floor. Yes, we can do it on the carpet. Yes, we have to have a little look around, make sure we're not running into things. And I have to keep my back a certain way to back up, he says. And so I understand what he needs, and then I can ask him to do it. Sure, I could have done a lot of not so nice things to get him to back up, but he is learning gradually how to do that. And every time I practice it, I incorporate it to some of the things that we do when we do dog dancing. And so he's starting to really be able to do it. But, it's not natural for him. And if I could not understand his language of saying this is hard, it would have been a lot harder for both of us. So listen to your dog, try to speak his language, try to understand what he is saying to you about a variety of things in his life. You know, when he doesn't eat his dinner, is he saying, I am bored, you've had the same meal 100 times? Or is he saying, I don't feel good? Or is he saying, oh, that's too hot today, or too cold, or there's something floating on the top that I don't like? So try to understand what your dog is telling you, because they are trying really hard to tell us things all day, every day. And they want to cooperate with us. You have to understand how much dogs are trying to cooperate with us, and cats, and horses, and bunnies, and even our guinea pigs. So that's our message today. We will be back with Conversations with a Corgi on Wednesday, because we're at our job as an educator on Monday and Tuesday this week. I think we're going to start I have a couple things to talk about first, but I think we're going to start a series about hospice care and hospice care for pets, because that's something I care a lot about. And I just found something on Facebook this morning that hints at that topic. So check that out on this page, and more coming. Thanks for joining us today. Everybody have a great day, and we'll see you on Wednesday. And later today, Brian's going to upload all of these on YouTube. So if you have friends that love YouTube, send them to Conversations with a Corgi. Tristan, do you have anything to say? He's counting down the song notes. He gets to jump down and get his treat. Right? He says, I like the treats. Thanks for joining us. Everybody have a great day. You stay warm up there, Danny. It's getting cold where you live.